Her uncle Alexander owned a half share in a wine company in London and was always very generous, bringing the posh stuff to her parents' house. Although she'd almost spat her tea out when she'd seen the amount of money he'd deposited in her bank account, the number of zeros made her feel slightly sick and euphoric at the same time. It seemed money was no object for his daughter's wedding. Alexander had told her that she had free rein in the chateau for the day of the ceremony, although he had booked an entire hotel for the guests and the bridal party. She'd also been told that there was a housekeeper in situ, but she could hire any additional staff as she saw fit, or bring anyone else in. Hattie had never hired staff in her life, and although the thought didn't worry her, she knew she'd be more than competent at doing so. It was more that she didn't want to have to be responsible for anyone else at the moment. She'd been doing that for too long. As she was standing, marvelling at the house, the front door opened and a tall man stood in the doorway. "Are you going to knock, or just stand there all day, hoping the door will open by itself?" His English was perfect, but the French accent was unmistakable, and by the amused expression on his face, he found her gauche admiration of the splendour of the house entertaining. Hattie blushed, and then raised her head with a regal lift. She wasn't going to be intimidated by anyone. She was Hattie Carter-Jones, and she was here to do a job. Then she blushed some more, as her heart literally stopped in her mouth. Oh my goodness! What on earth did they put in the water here? The man had the most amazing blue eyes, with the thickest, darkest lashes she'd ever seen, and a head of swept-back curly hair. He wore dusky pink shorts, which revealed long, muscled legs. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. "Can I help you? Are you lost?" The man raised an eyebrow, and she knew without a doubt he knew exactly the effect he was having on her. She must look a right lemon standing there staring at him. "Hi," Hattie said, but in trying to control her voice, it came out an octave lower than her usual voice. "Bonjour, I'm Hattie." "Hattie?" A smirk crossed his face as he dropped the H, making it sound adorably sexy and sending a shiver through her. "Cute." Did he mean her name or her? It flustered her even more. "Well, it's really Harriet, but most people call me Hattie, which I much prefer because, I don't know, don't you think Harriet sounds a bit like a maiden aunt or something quite stuffy? I do." Now she was babbling, and he wasn't even trying to hide his amusement at her verbal outpouring. Then she realised she was probably talking far too quickly and about something that didn't translate terribly well. She strode forward and held out her hand. He took it, and she gave his hand a firm, no-nonsense shake, trying to claw back some dignity, which was a bit hopeless given his hand completely dwarfed hers. That bloody smile of his deepened, as if he knew exactly what she was doing. She felt a bit like a small flea being swatted by a newspaper. "Luc Prémont." God, just his voice, saying his name in that divine accent made her go mushy inside. Once again she stood there looking like a gormless idiot. She really did need to pull herself together. It was as if she hadn't been out in the real world for a long time and was adjusting from captivity, which actually was quite a good analogy. "Can I help you?" he asked again. "I'm working here. I'm the wedding planner." "The wedding planner?" He stared at her with a mystified look. Didn't they have such things in France? "L'organisateur de mariage?" "I do know what a wedding planner is," he said with a look, making it clear that he wasn't a half-wit. "I would have expected to be given some notice that you were arriving." "I phoned." "When?" What did it matter when? Didn't he believe her? She lifted her chin. 2 days ago." He raised an eyebrow. "I spoke to someone. A woman." In hindsight, the woman had been quite curt, despite Hattie's self-conscious fumbling through her pre-prepared Google translation of "Je suis l'organisateur de mariage."